developments that have taken place in the Bilkis Bano case. The trauma of past 20 years has washed over me again. That's what Bilkis Bano said. 2 days after 11 rapists and murderers were released, Bilkis Bano, who was just 21 when the marauders unleashed havoc, is once again forced to relive the pain. The pain of being brutally gang raped when she was 5 months pregnant. The pain of seeing a 3.5-year-old daughter being murdered by one of those now roaming free. Her mother raped and brutalized. The pain of watching in horror as 7 members of her family were butchered by those blinded by hate. 20 years later, the fear is back to haunt Bilkis and her family. In a heart-wrenching statement, she now pleads for her right to live in peace without fear. Bilkis says she has been left numb and devastated, but hear her husband voicing their fears.
ખબર સાંભળવાથી અમને એટલું બધું દુઃખ અને એક માયુસ થઈ ગયા છે કે અમે આટલા લાંબા સમયથી લડાઈ લડી એનો આ નતીજો છે એટલે અમને બહુ દુઃખ અને ડર જે ઓછો હતો એ આજે વધી ગયો છે. સરકાર તરફથી જે સહાય કરવામાં આવી છે 50 લાખ રૂપિયાની જે સહાય છે અમને ચૂકવી દેવામાં આવી છે અને સરકાર સુપ્રીમ કોર્ટે જે સરકારને આદેશ કર્યો છે કે એક મકાન એમને આપવું જોઈએ અને નોકરી આપવી જોઈએ એના વિશે હજુ કોઈ નિર્ણય નથી થયો.
Well, picking up Kargil's on behalf of Bilkis, the opposition is now demanding remission to be reviewed and revoked. And at the same time, first let's listen to the opposition reaction coming in.
प्रधानमंत्री देश से 15 अगस्त को लाल किले से अपने भाषण में तकरीर में महिलाओं की एम्पावरमेंट की बात की, महिलाओं के ताल्लुक से बड़ी अच्छी बातें की. उसी दिन भाजपा की गुजरात की सरकार ने उस महिला को जिसकी 3 साल की बेटी को कत्ल कर दिया गया, जिसका बलात्कार हुआ, 11 लोगों ने उसका बलात्कार किया, उन लोगों को भाजपा की सरकार अपनी रेमिशन पॉलिसी के तहत उनको छोड़ती है. कि उस रेमिशन पॉलिसी की रिव्यू कमेटी में कौन था? एक का नाम था जनाब मूलचंदानी साहब, जो गोधरा के राइट्स में वो एक प्रोसिक्यूशन के विटनेस थे और दूसरे उसमें बीजेपी भाजपा के 2 MLA थे. तो आप इनसे इंसाफ की कैसे उम्मीद रखते हैं रिव्यू कमेटी की?
In public, Bilkis was raped. They have been left out of the jail. Now what does it mean? If this is law and order, this is the judiciary, this is the meaning of jail. 15 people and the RSS BJP people are distributing sweets. When they came out from the jail, they were distributed, they were given a heroic welcome. Nari ka samman. What sort of samman Prime Minister has given Nari?
The opposition is also questioning the composition of the panel that arrived at the decision to offer the 11 rapists a respite from jail term. So, who all were on the panel constituted after Supreme Court ordered the state to look into the remission request? We're playing out that list of individuals who were on the panel. Mahua Moitra, Godhra Collector and DM, was the chairman of the committee. C.K. Raulji, a BJP MLA, was part of the panel. Suman Chauhan, a BJP MLA, was part of the panel. Murli Mulchandani, former Godhra municipal councillor from BJP, was also part of the panel constituted to look into the remission policy. And not just that, Snehaben Bhatia, BJP women's wing worker, was also on the panel. District Social Welfare Officer, Sessions Judge. Basically, the opposition is saying that since the BJP leaders were part of the panel, how can you expect justice from them? Let's open this up and let's go across to our guests. We have Zakia Soman, women's rights activist, joining us on the broadcast. Has justice really been done 20 years later? Bilkis Bano still saying, I want my right to live in peace and not fear.
So what has happened now is shocking. It is shocking beyond words. It is such a shame that men who gang raped a pregnant woman and killed some 14 of her family members, including her infant daughter, they have been pardoned. So I think this act of the government is highly, highly questionable morally and ethically. And this is like a huge setback to all the women in the country who are fighting for justice, all the women who have suffered sexual assault, the children who have suffered sexual assault, and who are, awaiting justice from the courts. The courts have done justice in this matter. The courts have given life imprisonment to all these 11 accused. And it is very, very strange, and it is totally unfathomable and unacceptable that the state government has approved their pardon. Without any talk of realization of the heinousness of the crime that they committed against a pregnant woman and her child and her family members, and without any sense of guilt, without any sense of remorse, without any admission that there has been grave wrongdoing which has been done to Bilkis and her family. I mean, this is really shocking beyond words, Swati.
Absolutely. In fact, the state has gone on to say that the due process was followed. We are also now joined by Shobha Gupta, lawyer of Bilkis Bano, joining us on the broadcast. Shobha Gupta ji, you fought for her, you fought with her. Today, when this remission policy benefit has been granted to all the 11 convicts, when just one of them filed for this particular policy benefit, have you spoken to Bilkis? I'm sure she's heartbroken. I'm sure even you are finding it difficult to come to terms with what has happened.
You said everything, Radha.
Shobha Gupta, please go ahead, ma'am.
I'm saying you said everything. I would be repeating only.
What
Like you all
about-
are disturbed, she is disturbed, like you all are disturbed, I am disturbed. Any right-minded person would be disturbed. Who can expect murderers of 14? There were 14 murders, 5 gang rapes, 1 pregnant lady gang raped. The murders, 14 persons who were killed includes her daughter. Like, who would not be disturbed? This long battle, she did not fight for this, that they would suddenly, in 14 years, 15 years, would come out. And there was no notice to her. There was, like, she was not even aware. She came to know only when they came out. So, yes, each one of us are dejected. She is dejected. The sense of, what do you call this? Sense of loss, loss not because somebody came out. Loss, what is that society? What is that system we are into then? Like, what we are fighting for? Why these? We have courts, we have the police system, law and order maintenance. The state put in their money. CBI put in their money to fight the case. CBI efforts, state efforts, central government's effort, everybody's effort. Court's time. A judge had to write 450 pages judgment, all that, each stakeholder had put in their best. Each stakeholder, not Bilkis alone. So when you ask me, how is Bilkis feeling? I'm asking, how are you feeling? How is the system feeling? How is the society feeling? Is anybody feeling good about this?
Is there a sense of betrayal? Like you said, the courts did justice in the matter, but now it just seems that everything has been overturned with this one decision. You're also telling us that nobody, in fact, from the government side even tried to reach out to the family, tried to reach out to Bilkis. In fact, the family found it out when some people in the village were apparently celebrating this.
No, so there were some feelers even on 14th. So I got a call from Bilkis's husband and he said, ma'am, is there any order from Supreme Court? Because we are hearing in the village that there is some order from Supreme Court and they are getting released. So we tried to find out and we said, no, we are not finding any such order. There is no notice to us. There's nothing on cards. So we couldn't find, unfortunately, anything when we were looking for on 14th. 15th, then he again called. He said, no, actually they have come out. There are sweets circulating, celebrations around. And then he said, possibly there are going to be some felicitations or maybe some, some program is going to take place. So this is how we all came to know. So whether the government was supposed to reach out to her, but as a matter of fact, she was to be called upon. She had to be heard. Her concern were to be taken care of. So I'm not sure, since I do not have the order in hand yet, like we have not been able to get the order till now. So we do not know what are the considerations. But I would be, it would be further a shocker if after considering her welfare, after considering her concerns of fear, her safety, if after considering all that, this order of remission had come from the authorities, I would be more than surprised then.
Right, you asked me how am I feeling about it, how's the system feeling about it, to even say that, we understand what she's going through would be a complete lie, because we really don't understand what she went through, and we can't even imagine what she went through 20 years back and what she's going through right now. What are the legal options available? Have you discussed this with her?
So legal options she should not be knowing. She might have to be told. But the fact is, all orders which are passed by the executives are subject to judicial review. So certainly she can file a writ petition in High Court. She can, this is how she has to proceed further, if she has to. But my point is, why should she go ahead? Why not government go? Why, I'm sure government would be planning to go against the order.
So you're expecting the other stakeholders to rake up the issue in the court?
Yeah, because the cases, complaints are filed, or there may be in each criminal case there would be a victim, but the criminal cases, except complaint cases, are being prosecuted by the state, and therefore the prosecutor is the state, investigating agency is the state, and they proceed with. So in this case, since there was a transfer of case, CBI fought this case. CBI was the prosecutor. So when they are pushing, it is for them to make sure that they have done their best, they have worked hard in this matter, collected investigative material, and all the courts of the country had upheld the conviction. With thick orders, thick judgments. So they must go. The stakeholders must go, who are duty bound as per the Constitution to maintain law and order. So for me, it is who should go is a state or CBI or the central government.
Okay. Shobhaji, I also want to ask you, do you fear that this is only going to embolden more convicts who have committed such heinous crimes to actually take benefit and advantage of such remission policies? But before you answer, Shobhaji, I have to take a very quick break. We'll come back and then discuss this further. Banu's lawyer Shobha Gupta continues to be with us. Thank you for staying with us, Shobhaji. Like I was asking you, do you fear this is going to embolden hardened criminals and convicts to take advantage of the remission policy? Also, a lot of politics happening around the constitution of the panel itself.
Politics. No, remission is policies are there, and they, as a matter of right, can make applications for it and exercise that. So we have a reformative system of penal law, and so that's all okay. You are each accused is entitled to apply for remission. The concerned authorities are duty bound to consider. The only thing is, if the moment we get the order, the moment we have the order in hand and we get to know the criteria which have been applied, but if simplicity on face of it, this is the criteria that 14 years have been gone by and they have improved their conduct, then I would be sorry. This cannot be the befitting application of mind. This would not be a proper application of mind for all the factors which the constitutional benches of Supreme Court, judgments of Supreme Court requires the competent authorities to consider before taking any such decision, especially the gravity of the offense, the conduct, the grossness involved.
Absolutely. Shobhaji, thank you very much for giving us your time. Thank you for joining us. Before we take a break on the broadcast, like I said, a lot of politics happening around the remission policy. The government's remission policy is being questioned, and so is the constitution of the panel. Let's quickly play out this reaction by Congress MP Ajay Kumar.
Shouldn't have any well-wishers like Mr. Modi for women, because if this is what he does when he wishes well for ladies, can you imagine what will happen if he wishes bad? Remove this BJP 2 MLAs from their party. And Mr. Modi should dismiss them, but he will not do it. He will never do it. Because for them, this was an election-winning strategy.